Launched this company in October of 2021, so we're about 2.5 years old. We're having clicker issues today, so they're my clickers. I'm going to roll through this presentation pretty quick on the pitch deck, if you will, per se, and sort of land on where we're going. And so we are an exterior home identification company with a monthly and quarterly refill decor kit subscription. So we create custom signs with house numbers, last names, or monograms. They all have a planter box on the front, and then we ship faux floral that doesn't require any water to about 400 customers across the country right now. We ship to all 48 states. 75% of our customers choose, we have two different styles, so I'll get into this in a minute, but modern versus traditional. They choose modern, and 65% of them are monthly versus quarterly subscribers. So it's $30 a month or $34 a quarter. We have done all of this without advertising to date. Everything has been organic, but there's been a ton of money invested to get us to where we are, and it's all been on debt. So I have carried this, bootstrapped it up until December of this past year, and then I raised $250,000 in debt as promissory notes. And the reason why I chose that route is because I need to really identify what our customer acquisition cost is, and if I think it's as good as what it can be to scale this. Our total addressable market size is about $8 billion. I would say our SAM is more like $2 billion. So if you take the number of homes in America that are freestanding homes with a household income of over $120,000, that's 22 million homes. And so if you divide that, so first of all, I think that's my number saying you have to have disposable income to spend $30 a month on your front porch, right? And then you have to care. I'm going to say 50% of those people care. And what I mean by that is they're already buying wreaths and rugs, they already are planting flowers, the curb appeal is important to them. And then third, they have to already enjoy subscription boxes of some sort, right? We all have subscriptions, but a lot of them are SaaS. So how many of those people are already subscribing to Chewy or HelloFresh or other products? And statistically, that's about 45%. So that's where I say we start at 8 million and we get down to 2 billion. Our average spend per year per customer is $348. So where we're backing into that. Are we good? We'll show a couple of examples here. This is how I came up with the idea. I moved into a fixer-upper in 2020, and my house numbers were above the garage, under the eave. You couldn't see them. And I had just gotten done redoing my front porch, painting my front door, updating my light fixture, and I was trying to add curb appeal without scratching my front door. And I started Googling modern house numbers. I could not find anything that was interesting. And so, Adam, can you go to the next one? Maybe. Okay, we're going to bail on that presentation. Just be done.
Sorry, Jennifer, we had technical issues.
We're good, no problem. And so you can go on our website, follow us anywhere you are at Entry Envy, and you'll see a lot of different examples of our products. But really, I was just simply trying to solve my own problem. I was my own first customer. I wanted to be able to have somebody ship me something on a timely basis for my front porch. Your exterior decor, you have to throw it away. Like, it gets rained on, it gets snowed on, blow away in the storm. And so it's really a perfect subscription in that way. Top 3 reasons that people subscribe to subscriptions is that it meets a need, it's convenient, and they like getting a present in the mail. The top 3 reasons they unsubscribe is they have too much of the product, they no longer use it anymore, or they don't find enough value in it. We have a 95% retention rate over a 12-month period of time. We have over 100 5-star reviews for customer service and not one less than that. Like, we are just killing it in the standpoint of we need our customers to enjoy their experience and tell their friends. 20% of our customers have more than one subscription with us, which is unheard of in the subscription box world. So they're buying it for their front porch, and then they're like, oh, I'll use this for my second house, or my Airbnb, or closing gifts for real estate agents, or my mom lives in an assisted living facility, facility or my desk at work. We have two other products that I did not mention because I don't consider them to be our bread and butter, but one is an interior sign that hangs on apartment doors or assisted living facility rooms, and then the other is what's back there on the food table. That's a business card holder, but it can be anything. Kelly, good job, thank you so much. But it can have a monogram on it, it can have a cute saying, it can have a business card holder. It doesn't matter which of our products you choose, our subscription is the same. You choose modern, traditional, or quarterly or monthly, and that's it, we ship it. So where we are right now, and why I really did the raise, was to invest in advertising. So that's great, that was fine. So we are launching by March 1st, a brand new website that is very focused and reduces the number of clicks to get to the checkout place with a subscription. I won a $50,000 pitch competition this past summer. We're working with Prize, was like working with an agency in Chicago called Crayola. So they are a Shopify Plus dev shop, and they have redone our entire website and really ended up giving us about a $75,000 website. It's beautiful. So that launches in the next 2 weeks. We are also converting our backend system from payroll to recharge to be able to handle growth projecting. We're launching Facebook ads, Google ads, and on Amazon. That's all happening by March 1st, and it's been in the works for months. So I am not trying to do any of that. I have, the experts that I vetted. There's so many different marketing channels you can go down, right? You can go down Pinterest, door-to-door, and YouTube, and direct mail, and like a bazillion influencers, and there's so many channels. But the lowest hanging fruit seemed to say, let's start with those three, and then go. So that's where we're at, and I, as Scott would say, or Mason, who's not here, sniper kitty, right? Like I'm sniper kitty right now on working on those three channels, and super excited about it. They're all a dice roll. Not advertising to this day because that's for a lot of reasons, but we have a super strong foundation. We're ready. There's nothing else that I like to drag my feet on. There's no other thing that I can say we have to do before we scale. So our goal is to add 1,000 subscribers between now and June 15th. And then summer is slow for us. So like right now, no one is thinking about their front porch yet. They're like, maybe like a tiny, like, yeah, we're ready for spring, but we're really not there yet. So we got 2 more weeks. Everybody's like, okay, we're cleaning out the dirt. We're ready to start thinking about spring flowers. So our peak season starts about the 2nd, 3rd week in March, and then we'll run through the middle of June. Everybody does summer vacations and sports and everything during the summer. We slow down, and then it peaks again at the end of August, runs through the beginning of December. So those are our sites. So when we will get to, we're going to learn so much in the next 3 months about how our advertising works. The first 30 days is going to be a total crapshoot. It's just a lot of bullets to just test through all of this. We'll learn a lot more through that, and then summer is going to be reevaluate on how fast are we scaling, what is our CAC at that point, what other channels do we want to incorporate, do I need to raise again, are we ready to start looking at, it's going to be cash flow. So we'll see. Goal is by the end of the year, we're sitting at 4,500 subscribers. So we will 10x this year with the target. So that's where I will leave you with, and happy to answer any questions. Thanks again, everybody. Sorry for the lack of presentation.
Jennifer, I think you have the Wi-Fi issue. So do you want to walk through real quick your
Just
examples?
go through a couple so people can see the products, but we won't go through like, that was the front porch before, this is the front porch after, good. So that was the very first one. Roll, maybe, roll, we should have loaded it. It's alright. It's fine.
It's a Wi-Fi, sorry. Wi-Fi issue.
Oh, good. Okay. Thank you. Questions? Yeah.
So you mentioned parking.
Yeah.
Do you lean into multi-tenant passive marketing?
Like the B2B, the question is have we linked into like the B2B side of multi-tenant units of apartments or condos, that kind of thing? Yeah.
What about event spaces too?
spaces. Now, short answer is we've tested some of the space in real estate, thinking about the company strategically, our evaluation will be higher if we stay in the direct-to-consumer space than if we go into the B2B. But the B2B can help us insulate times where our direct-to-consumer sales are down, like the winter and the summer. So I anticipate that we will test some of that. Airbnb right now is on the top of my list for that. Airbnb has sort of like two different markets. You have people that have 1.5, and then you have people that have a lot more. The people that have a lot more, I actually found out I have to get into the property management side of it because the people who own all of those don't want to service this themselves. So I'm working on some pieces on that side of it. I think on the multi-unit, there's some interesting advertising opportunities, especially for local bars and restaurants and those kinds of people, because they really want to target a specific complex, not just a zip code, and it's hard to get in. So it's on the list.
Hi. You always look amazing.
Oh, thank you.
As you scale up, first off, to get to 4,500, I believe you said? What kind of people are you hiring? How many? Have you thought through that?
Oh, yeah.
What's the people impact
The
here?
people side. Well, the good news is we have 25 people that want to work for us right now on our waiting list. I am scaling this in a very untraditional way in terms of labor. I'm a big believer that women can do anything as long as you don't tell them how to do it. You just let them have the keys and say, this is what needs to be done, and you walk away. And they will get it done every single time. And if they can't do it, they'll find somebody to do it. And so I have two different spaces. One is right over here, like left to Nicholas, Patty Corner. That's where we make all of our one-time custom signs. The women who I'm attracting to work in there are between the ages of 19 and 26. They are super fun. They're very creative souls. They have the keys 24/7. They know what they need to do, and they're awesome. We will probably add 2 to 3 people, but we can scale those operations out of that space to that number. Beyond that, probably not. We'll have to move in, but that's okay. I also have put in what I call the oh shit list buttons. And so, like in our building, Barwood's store is there. He has every single piece of woodworking equipment I can possibly imagine, and I'm connected to a 20,000 square foot warehouse that we can have Miller Lumber drive in and drop off lumber. So I'm not oversourcing, I'm not sending it overseas, we're doing it here. I've got 2 carpenters right now who do all of those products for us. There's another wonderful woman across the street, Megan, who's a woodworker as well. So I really thought through where do we get into these binds? How are we going to be able to scale some of that? And then in addition to people part of customization and painting, there's going to be things, there's going to be challenges. On the subscription side, I have actually kept that on my house still. When we moved the production side down here, it allowed me to open up another 1,500 square feet in my house. So my house isn't really a house. It's a very open floor plan that looks like Michael's at all times. Like you walk in and I live in the floor all the time. And so but it allowed us to have more space. I have a team there, and those subscription boxes don't take up that much space, so we have been able to make it work. And I have drugged my feet on moving that because I don't know if I'm going to outsource this to a 3PL. I don't know if it's going to be a hybrid situation. And the advice that I got early on from an entrepreneur who has, they actually has a printing company and they've expanded a number of times over the last 20 years, is he's like, do not move until it hurts. Don't move until you absolutely can't stand to be where you are anymore. And so I haven't had a house for 3 years, so I'm like, why start now? We just keep taking over. But I just want to know. I want to know how fast this works, how fast this grows. And that group that works out for me there, there are women that pay a task base, so they get paid 6 cents per sheet of paper they cut. They get paid 38 cents per bag of moss they cut. It's all based on what they're fulfilling, and they love it. They can do it from home, they can do it from a house. And that is typically 40 to 65-year-old women, stay-at-home moms, semi-retired. And my mom runs that entire operation. She's a logistics queen. So I don't know. I'm just gonna say we're gonna get up, dress up, show up, keep doing the next thing in front of me, and figure out Paul Jarrett with Boohoo, David Sievers with Kira Coffee. Those are both my oh shit list people for the subscription side. I'm gonna hit those buttons at some point this year. Just don't know when.
So when we talked a year ago, shameless shout out to the head motion team and their ventures forum and their collaboration. But when we talked, there was a level of uncertainty that you had, and we talked about truth. And I have just watched that uncertainty really evaporate in the past 4 months.
Thank you.
Talk us through that journey, being on shaky feet, not being really sure what that direction was, how you found it, and how you drove it.
Yeah, thank you. The question is, how have I moved through the uncertainties, and what I really just say is fear. If I write a lot about this on LinkedIn, so you can go back and look at my blogs. It's my outlet. I don't know why I post there, but I do, and I just like share my journey as it goes along. It's really selfishly for me because it's documenting the story. Every week since December of 2021, when I started this company, I fill out a report to myself called Life in Progress, and it's about like challenges, and like someday I'll end up writing a book because I have like all of this documented since the beginning. But I think that it's trust the process and trust myself. And it's hard. I mean, there's nothing easy about it, but I'm trying to think my philosophy. It's like get up, dress up, show up, and just do the next thing. Like, it keeps working. It keeps working. Somehow the money shows up. Somehow I get it done. Somehow the next person that I need to meet shows up. And it's just this unwavering belief. And could it fail? Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I know the statistics, right? A 5% chance of success, guys, something like that, right? It's terrifying, in this world. But I don't know. I think that I'm also a pretty strong person of faith, and I have been through every story, right? And it's been a rough story the last 15 years. And I just think, Charlie, that God hasn't brought me this far to see me fail now. And so it's just this unwavering, like, you got it. And even if I do, I know it was meant to be. Like, it means that there's something else that I'm supposed to be doing. I don't think that's going to happen. So it's just, and the post that's posting on Sunday is called All In. So last week's post I did was bet on yourself. And I said, if you bet on somebody else with money you can afford to lose, but bet on yourself with what you can. And I quit my job as a single mom with 2 kids. I have invested $350,000 in this company. We've generated about $230,000 in revenue. So do the math, right? And it's just like all in. If we're going big or we're going home. And so, I don't know, all in.
Have you gotten into doing trade shows, vendors, like wedding expos or what?
Yeah, have we done trade shows, craft events? Yes, and they don't work. Nobody comes to those events to buy a subscription. They come to buy a $20 candle and walk out the door with their product. Surprising. What I have learned, I've talked to thousands of people at those events, that was my priceless customer data. I can see them touch the product, interact with it, feel it. I learned so much. And I still do a few as favors to friends, and I still like to get my hands dirty and like talk to those potential customers and really see in their faces. Like I can't see that online. What do you like? What do you not like? What questions do you have? Help me understand them, but they don't work for us from a revenue perspective. Hi, Scott.
Hey, Jennifer, long-time listener, first-time caller. I do love the story. I would love to share your adventures in letting go of. You've been very hands-on with a lot of stuff, but experimenting the last year of bringing different people in. Because it wasn't like try one and team combination and it worked. You've had to do a lot of experimentation on how you could delegate who needs to be on your team. You want to share?
Yeah. How have I delegated and the experimentation costs involved and so forth. I had a coffee with Alexi Wellman maybe about 4 or 5 months ago. And one of the pieces of priceless advice she gave me was, don't ever put yourself on a to-do list. Every idea that you have, state who's going to do this, because it's not going to be you. And I'm like, okay, cool, okay, good point. And I really embraced that. There's a fabulous book that if you've not read it, I highly encourage you to, called 10X is Easier Than 2X by Dan Sullivan and Benjamin Hardy. Talks a lot about the who, not the how, which they also wrote. And so I really have done pretty well hiring the right team, But I've definitely faltered. What I have learned about myself is if I don't have good feelings about it, don't do it. Do everything with an out, good introductory period. Let's test the project. Let's see how we work together. Let's do a 90-day introduction period. Just don't get into anything with a commitment that I can't get out of. I made two really expensive mistakes this summer because I didn't trust myself. I thought I needed higher level support than what I did, and what I really needed was to hire the right team. So we've got about 14 people total that are working for us right now in a combination of 1099s and W-2s, and then I've got 5 key agencies, for lack of a better word, and it just comes down to what I've learned is I have to 100% trust before I delegate. And do I hold on to it until I trust? Yeah, I do. I keep a pretty careful oversight on it. Somebody wanted access this morning to, full administrator access to our Playview account just through one of the agencies, and I said, how well do you know this guy? Well, we worked with him a month. They said, no, he's not getting access. Let's figure out a different way to get this done, So I just, I don't know, Scott, it's been a journey. It's not easy, but taking myself off the to-do list has been huge. I still work 100 plus hours a week. I'm still doing a ton, but I'm not in charge of one thing getting it done. Yeah.
So what is your profit margin?
60% so on everything that we send out. And so if in some areas it's a little higher, like our quarterly subscriptions, it's about 65%. If somebody prepays for a year, it takes the price down to $24.99 a box, so my profit margin is closer to 52%. So there's a little bit of fluctuation depending on how they come in, but on average it's 60%. And we do free shipping, that includes the shipping price.
What is your shipping time?
I'm sorry?
If someone order like 100 products, what is the average time?
3 to 5 days is our turnaround time from the time that somebody places an order. Now, if they ordered 100 of those, it'd probably take us about 2 weeks to get them out, and we would contact them. But all of our stuff, because it's direct to consumer, isn't coming in that way. It's one order at a time, maybe 2 orders at a time. So our average initial order value is $160. Our exterior signs are $129 plus the first subscription, which is $30. And then we are running, so on the Facebook side, this is interesting. The gal that I'm working with has worked with the Harmon Brothers for about 7 years. She's awesome. I love her. And most people in the social media world are kind of wishy-washy. Like, well, you can do this, or you can do this, or you can try this. And she's like, no, this is what we're doing. And I'm like, I love you. And so we're doing a known offer. She said, I have to have an impulse buy price and something that you know works. So on our Facebook ads, we're driving people to a landing page that our general customers won't see, and it will be a lower price point to get in, $30, because if they can't cancel or pause for 3 months, but that $30 will get them a free sign and a 3-month subscription. It rolls monthly after that. I'm doing this because I tested that offer in the beginning of September. I sold 45 signs in 5 days. And so my break-even point was 3 months, and I was guaranteed to cover that, and I've only lost 5 of those customers in the past 6 months. So I think we'll be fine on that, but it's roll the dice. However, I lose money on day 1 running ads like that because we're estimating our customer acquisition cost is going to be $40 right now. That's how we're budgeting. So I know we're at time. I'll stick around if anybody needs anything else. Thank you so much. Yeah, Manny.
Just one last
Yes,
comment.
absolutely.
Because I think you've been just amazing for our
Thank
community.
you.
In part because of your leadership and I'll call it fearless sharing. Please don't stop.
Oh, thank you, Manny. Thank you. I appreciate everybody's support so much. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody.
We do
Oh,
have
and the
one
last
more question.
question, how can you help? Thank
That is
you.
right. Right out,
Thank
took
you.
the words out of my
Thank
mouth,
you.
Jennifer.
You're so sweet. I've been here a few times.
First time.
First time caller. So please go to EntryMD.com or follow EntryMD wherever you are social. We're on everything. Share with your friends and family, and just continue being you. Love it. Thank you all.
Awesome.